Hello, my name is Nooralden. I'm from Sudan. First of all, I'm very thankful for giving me this chance. And I would like to take this opportunity in order to reflect you the context of Sudan, and particularly the context of South Kordofan state. Um, and as you know, war broke out in Sudan since the 15th of April 2023. This war broke out in the capital city of Sudan, which is Khartoum, and increasingly the clashes between SAF and RSF went across other states uh, in Sudan. Um, this war actually created a very bad situation for Sudanese civilians, leading into sexual slavery for women and the killings of civilians. Probably thousands of civilians they got killed and shot, and millions of them they fled the country, searching for safe places in other countries. Also, this war brought starvation, and as we see now, people now going through a very bad situation, and starvation is already taking place across the states of the country. Um, I would like to particularly talk about South Kordofan State. For South Kordofan State, people of the Nuba Mountains, they've been engaged with the people in South Sudan in the struggle since 1983, and clashes starts in the Nuba Mountains since 1992. Um, since at that time, the Nuba Mountains fought together with South Sudanese people against the central government of Khartoum. In 2005, there was the peace agreement, which is the CPA, Comprehensive Peace Agreement, between the government, the central government, and the SPLM. This peace agreement led into the independence of South Sudan and giving the right of referendum for the Nuba Mountains and South Blue Nile. Unfortunately, in 2011, war broke out between the SPLM North and the central government, as SPLM accused the central government of rigging the elections. Since that time, the people of the Nuba Mountains, they've been going through war where the territories of the Nuba Mountains become a territories for mobilizations and militarization, and also for atrocities such as raping and killing and sexual slavery and all these atrocities against human rights. Um, after the war, after the war of after the April War, increasingly this war went across all the states, including South Kordofan, causing a very bad situation for the citizens. And as the context of South Kordofan is very different from the other contexts, people um, in South Kordofan they look at the context as left behind context, because the context of South Kordofan there is three actors, which is the SPLM, the RSF, and SAF. But the negotiations that's taking place between SAF and the RSF is not including the SPLM. And if you are not including the SPLM in any negotiation, that means that that the SPLM actually controls maybe 70% or more than this of the territories of the Nuba Mountains. Then the people of the Nuba Mountains are not concerned with any negotiation that's addressing anything, including the humanitarian aid. And now, as we see, the government of SPLM, they have announced starvation across the Nuba Mountains and South Blue Nile, and this need an urgent handing help of those who can help and those who can give a handing help. The people of the Nuba Mountains now in going through a very difficult time, where their context is left behind, where there's no anyone that addressing their context into these tables of talks, and where people actually going through a very difficult starvation. And this is a call for you to please follow up with what's going on in the Nuba Mountains and do your best in order to help people in South Kordofan Nuba Mountains. Historically, people of the Nuba Mountains has been discriminated against by the central government. In 1989, when the Islamists came to power, they brought a what they call it a political vision that actually based on Arabization, Islamization of Sudanese people, and part of these policies was implemented in the Nuba Mountains, forcing people of the Nuba Mountains to adopt Arabic names and to adopt Arab identity, even though it's not their own indigenous one. And because of this situation, many of them actually they went and joined the SPLM in South Sudan in fighting against the central government. But a lot of them remain living in the big cities such as Khartoum and other cities, but as third-class citizens. They served in military, they served in police, and they served in the security of the government. As the government used to use them as a cheap laborers. Part of them, a big amount of them, they traveled and then they flee to other countries seeking for safe places and seeking for good opportunities. And some of them they went to Egypt, some of them they went to Libya, but they ended up in behind bars and they ended up in prisons. But also many of them they ended up dead in the middle of the ocean while they're traveling to European countries in order to find a better future for themselves. Finally, I would like to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and actually, I feel like we need such opportunities in order to reflect our context and to communicate with you. You are the ones actually who are very concerned about our context and who are very concerned about our people in Sudan, and together we complete each other's. Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this chance. I really appreciate it. Stay safe.